fights makes its return to the northwest corner of Indiana, just a stone's throw away from the south shore of Lake Michigan in Hammond, Indiana. Not far from the famed fight town of Chicago, but lately it's in this area that's been the hotbed for great action-filled fight cards. And tonight, we hope to have just that in front of us. Former world title challenger Lamar Murphy, Damian Fuller in our main event. But to start the night off, a step-up test for an unbeaten welterweight. James Webb is a former U.S. Olympic team alternate who has run his pro record of 13-0. He faces 23-year-old Xavier Tolliver in our opening bout. There's Atlanta's Xavier Tolliver, grew up idolizing a Georgia legend, Evander Holyfield, that is. Tolliver, 5'8", came in at 146.5. You see him at 13-3. His last 5 fights, it includes the April 2003 TKO loss handed out by Richard Paul. Xavier's brother threw in the towel in the 6th round after he had survived 2 standing 8 counts in that fight. Here's Columbia, Tennessee's James Webb, 5'10", 31-year-old, came in at $147. Perfect 13-0. It's come against easy competition. His last 5 shows that it's already his 3rd fight of the year. He's been staying busy with a diet of KO wins. 7 of his last 8 fights have been KO wins. And as if training as a pro fighter doesn't take enough focus and attention, Webb is an active member of the National Guard.
I got activated in January of 2003 for the Homeland Security Operation Leader, and I'm providing security at an Air Force base, McGee Tyson Air Base in Knoxville. I'm working for the 134th Security Forces Squadron.
There's the Army engineer.
Do you have any questions? Yeah. His trunks are about just where his trunks is. He's a little bit taller. His neighbor is different. You're good. Any questions? Any questions over here? Obey my commands at all times. Thank you.
So referee Eric Fetzer dealing with the trunks of James Webb. If you heard the Tolliver camp asking the question there, take a look at the ring experience. 4-year career for Tolliver. Webb was an amateur up until he was 28 years old, thus a 3-year pro career. Spending his days as an MP at McGee Tyson Air Force Base in Knoxville, Tennessee, Teddy, and then putting in his time getting ready for the ring.
Army fatigues. He's allowed to do that. He has paid his dues. Both these fighters have gotten all their fights in the South to Southwest. Where we've said it many times, soft formations, you can build up the records. Combined records of the last 11 fights for Tolliver, 34 wins, 79 losses, and 1 draw. Astounding. Combined records of his last 9 opponents, I did a little arithmetic, an astounding 72 wins, 272 losses, and 18 draws. You can say he's been in source so far. So much more losses than wins. Teddy, he freely admits that he's been in easy. However, James Webb saw more than enough top-level talent as an amateur. He had a very accomplished amateur career. He was serving in the armed services, was an all-armed forces champion, won 3 fights during the U.S. Olympic trials back in 2000. Along the way of his amateur days, he faced Larry Mosley, Dante Craig, Ricardo Williams, and was an alternate for the Sydney Olympic Games. So obviously a little more polished into his 20s as an amateur than Tolliver. Pedigree, no doubt about it. Both these fighters actually have 2 things in common. Both have fought soft opposition, as we've just chronicled. But the big difference, Webb has beaten them, and guess what? Tolliver hasn't. He's lost in that kind of competition. Webb's got real good size. That's the first thing that strikes you for a welterweight, his body size.
Wants to take advantage of the 2-inch height advantage over Tolliver today. We talked about that yesterday. Some infighting now. Webb said he wanted to get busy with his jab on the outside, but Tolliver working on the inside here in the final minute of round number 1.
The size really stands out. Webb looking much bigger. We'll find out if he's much stronger. It seems that Webb has 2 choices, being what seems to be the bigger, more physical guy. He can fight inside and feel comfortable. And of course, with his size and reach, he can and maybe should control things on the outside too. He can use that jab. Dictate.
Trying to close strong here at the end of round number 1. They're scheduled for 8. Xavier Tolver and James Webb